How you doing, guys? Lionel here with Run Outdoors. I just got back from my archery ibex hunt on the Florida mountains. I'm in my shop. I was putting things away, and I figured I want to do a loadout video of all the stuff that I used on this hunt. When I first started, I was looking for something like this, maybe somebody with experience that had been up there. I couldn't find anything, so I'm going to go ahead and make this video for the future. If you clicked on this video, you probably have a hunt coming up, or you're thinking about putting in. If you have already, John, good luck, man. The mountains are tough up there. I'm just going to do, this might be lengthy because I'm going to go from top to bottom on stuff that I took up there. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So first of all, let's start with the pack. I'm running the Horn Hunter. This is the pack frame part. Super handy pack. I've hauled out, really comfortable. I've hauled out entire deer with this before. It originally comes with this day pack that straps into here, and then this was just your primary pack. What I bought this year for this hunt is this big guy. This is, I believe, a 5,000 cubic inch monstrosity of a bag. I used every bit of this for the hunt. This held 9 days worth of food, hunting supplies, survival stuff, just everything you need for 9 days worth of hunting. So I would suggest getting something similar to this. The cool thing about this is the pack that had all my food and everything just pops right off. I got to put it in my tent, and it stayed there for the duration of the trip. And then my hunting pack came on, bow went onto that, and I could take off hiking. So I would recommend some sort of system like the Horn Hunter. You guys can do your own research on what kind of bag. I run the Horn Hunter full curl system. Amazing bag. I can't say enough good things about it. So that's pack. I got a couple of things written down here that I don't want to forget. So we'll just start first off with we'll just start at the bottom. We'll go with boots. Super important. My first outing on the Floridas almost ended early because of boots. Let me show you what happened this time around. These right here are brand new boots. These had 0 hunts on them, and I walked a hole right through those suckers. My first outing, I had a set of Under Armour. These are Cabela's Access, by the way. I wouldn't necessarily call them cheap boots. They're not the most expensive you can get, but they're comfortable, and I thought they were going to hold up well. And I mean, you can see I lost lugs. The sole to this feels soft already. I could feel rocks through here. Luckily, the hole wasn't all the way through, so stuff wasn't falling in, and I actually got to finish the hunt. This happened on day 2, and I got to finish the hunt with these. So boots. My first go around, I took up a set of Under Armour boots that were about a year old. Those were completely trashed. I mean, shredded in 4 days. My first go around hunting those ibex, I was driving around the bottom, and we would spot from the bottom, and then I would stalk up to them. I think that's a rough way to do it. After doing it the way I did it, where I packed my stuff up, you know, that other way, every day sucked because you were climbing to the top every day. Every day you saw something, it was at the top, you'd have to go after it. This way it sucked only 2 days, because one day I hauled my water up there on the weekend before the hunt, and then on the day before the hunt, I took my pack full of food and hunting equipment and supplies and all that stuff. So it only sucked 2 days versus every day. So next time that I do this, God willing, I do draw this again, I'm going to go about it the same way. Some of my loadout is going to change, though, because I did have some failures, like my boots. I'm probably going to upgrade to like a Crispy or a Kinetrex or something like that. So, and then that's what this video is for. I want to show you guys what worked. I want to show you guys what happened to the equipment that I did use. And on the top of my list is boots. Super important. It's what gets you guys everywhere. So My recommendation is to get a pair of boots that you know is comfortable, something that you preferably used already. Wear them enough to break them in, and then put them away. So that way you have a brand new set of boots when you start the hunt, and hopefully they'll last. So that's my recommendation. That's actually what I'm going to do this go around. My next go around, if I ever draw this again. So that's you guys use whatever boot brand that you feel that you're going to use, but just know that that's going to take a beating up there. Rocks are sharp, everything's slick. You get cactus that pokes through, so the boots take a huge blunt of destruction up there. Next on the list for clothing is snake gaiters. Floridas are infested with snakes. I have a pair of whitewater. They might be in the Tupperware in the box already, but I have a pair of whitewater snake gaiters that I've ran for years. Snake gaiters suck. I don't like them. They're uncomfortable. Your legs sweat. But previous year, when I went up there on my first hunt, saw snakes every day. Every single day I saw snakes up there. This year I saw 2 in 8 days. So I still use them every day because I know what's up there, and these snakes are big, and I hate snakes, so I ran the snake gaiters every day. Clothing, I pretty much wear all King's camo. Pattern is your preference up there. The goats are going to see you either way. They call it the impossible goat for a reason. But as far as material, I completely stay away from cotton. You sweat like crazy up there, and cotton doesn't dry. You stay wet, you stay soppy, you stay miserable, especially in the mornings. I was getting temperature swings from high 40s, 48, 49, up into, I think at one point I was seeing 93 degrees. So huge swings in temperature. So the key is to, you're going to sweat. There's no way around it. It's to be able to dry off fast. It sucks in the mornings. I had about an 800-foot climb to where I wanted to hunt. I was around the Florida Peak area. I believe it's around 7,400 feet. So I had about an 800-foot, give or take, 500-foot, depending on where I wanted to hunt that particular day. So I would sweat. And in the early mornings, wasn't such a big deal if you were moving, but what I would do is I would climb to the top, I would sit down and start glassing, and being wet started to make me cold. So that brings in another part of my my gear that I took up, is rain gear. My first hunt that I went up there, we got rain 4 days out of the 8 or 6, whatever, 7 days, I don't remember. So I invested in this little rain pack. It's not much bigger than my hand. There's a pant and a shirt in here. This year, we got 0 rain up there. No clouds. It was extremely hot and dry. But I did use the rain jacket in the mornings. When I would sit in glass and I was sweaty, I would put the rain jacket on so I wouldn't get so cold in the mornings, because you're talking 48, 49 degrees is still fairly chilly in the morning. So I would definitely recommend investing in some sort of rain kit if you're planning on doing this hunt like I did. Just to get the baseline, both of these hunts were in October. I have yet to do the January hunt, but both of these are in October for southern New Mexico. So that's what this gear loadout is aimed towards, is the October hunt. So rain gear. I would definitely I would pack it again because of previous experience. This time I didn't need it. So there's that. Trekking poles. I have a pair of trekking poles somewhere. I wouldn't go up to the Floridas without these anymore. You can see that one of these actually took a hit. I bent one. Nothing fancy. They're telescoping trekking poles, but they're worth their weight in gold. So going up there the week before, me and my buddy both had a case of water. I'm guessing that it was somewhere around 35 pounds of water, and I went up there with these. The day before the hunt, when I took everything else, I had about a 65-pound pack. That was food, hunting equipment, you name it, survival stuff, bow repair kit, cooking. It was extremely heavy, so I needed these things, and I would not go back up there without a set of trekking poles. I think these are just some Walmart brand that I've had for years, and I continue to use them just about every hunt that I go on. So a good set of trekking poles is a necessity in my eyes. Mind you, this is all, most of this is opinion. I've been up there twice, so I kind of got a good idea of what sort of gear and whatnot you're going to be needing. So you can take this with a grain of salt, but a lot of this, actually most of, not all of this, has been tested in the hunting situation on the Floridas chasing ibex. So there, you can take that information with what you will. Let's get into the food part of this. I ran. I'll show you guys that here in a second. I used Mountain House meals, the 2 serving per containers. I used a breakfast and I used a dinner. Mountain Houses. That's what I did for to take care of my morning and afternoon meals. For my midday meals, I put together a my own little lunch pack. This particular one consisted of 2 Cliff Bars, a couple sticks of jerky, some cheese, a cup of trail mix, and a candy bar. I did a lot of research, man. So many people got tied up with caloric intake, and I could care less about that. What I did is I ate this stuff. I actually ate the breakfast, Mountain House breakfast in the morning on a weekend when I could hit the gym, when I could go do some running, I could go do some hiking. I would eat the lunch packs, and I slowly put my lunch pack together with something that was keeping me going throughout the day. At night, I would eat the Mountain House dinner, and then I would evaluate how I felt in the morning. Was I waking up extremely hungry? You know, I did it again on a Sunday, started again with the whole process, and I would evaluate how I felt those 2 days. Did I feel like I was hungry? Did I need to eat more? So you are going to be working your ass off on these mountains. There's no sugarcoating in this. Those mountains are rough, and they beat the hell out of people. So take some time. If you have time, plan ahead a couple months before. Start eating these meals, man. Get into the habit of waking up and use the stuff that you're going to take on there, because that's going to make or break your hunt, man. If you're waking up, if you're feeling lethargic and you're not able to function throughout the day, I mean, if you're not able to chase these goats and keep up with them, you know, that's going to make for a miserable hunt, as well as probably a short hunt and unsuccessful. So to cook those, I ran the Jetboil. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with this. If you purchase the actual Jetboil fuel canisters, they fit right down in the bottom of this. Everything goes into the actual stove itself, closes up, and this makes a nice little clean package for your hunt. I only went through, I didn't even go through one whole canister in 7 days. I'm sorry, 8 days of cooking. So this thing weighs, it's the small one. This is 3.53 ounces, so 100 grams, and I think there's still plenty for another 10 days probably. So there's that bit of information. I ended up getting a couple. I bought this Mountain Ops Ignite. This is just something that I used in the morning to get a little kickstart. You know, it's got some vitamins and minerals, some things to help you get your morning started. This is what I was putting in my water to eat with my my breakfast in the morning. So that's these 2 items. Water. This actually shortened my hunt up by a couple days, because I didn't calculate the heat very well. I ended up using 7 bottles of water a day. Originally, I thought I was going to use around 5, but So this is how it broke down, and this is something you guys can think about. You guys can put this into your calculations when you're getting ready for your hunts. 1 in the morning to cook with, 1 in the morning to drink your breakfast with, 3 throughout the day in your camel pack, which I was going through all of this. I was going to all 3 bottles. I think it's 70 ounces of water a day, because it was hot. And then so that's 5, and then I would use 1 to cook with in the afternoon and 1 to drink my dinner with. So 7 bottles of water. That's what I was using minimum. I thought that I could get away with less. Turns out I couldn't. I ended up taking 48 bottles of water, and that lasted me 7 days and 1 morning. So think about that, guys, when you're planning your hunt and you're getting your stuff together. Water's important, so that's gonna make or break this whole thing. So that's my my kink on the water department. What else? I think that pretty much covers the food part. Tent, camping equipment. Pretty much anything that you guys are currently using is probably going to work. Remember, guys, the Floridas, it's windy every day. Every stinking day I got wind up there. So I will tell you this, one night I had about a 40 to 45, maybe a 50-mile-an-hour wind, almost laying my tent flat. I am running a Kelty Salida 2. This is a 2-person tent. I ran this along with my Big Angus air up mattress. This thing was a lifesaver. After a few days of getting your ass kicked, it's nice to come home to a nice soft bed. And then I have the Climate inflatable pillow. I chose this one because it's got a nice little felt liner on it. Feels really good on your head. If you sweat at night, your head won't stick to this thing. But this tent absolutely kicked ass, and it's a slightly larger tent. It's a 2-person. Let me tell you why I went with a 2-person. There's a lot of critters up there, and one of my issues, one of my fears was leaving equipment, leaving food, leaving things outside, and having mice and squirrels and all sorts of other unwanted pests getting to these things. One of my nightmares was having a squirrel or something gnawing on my bowstring, breaking it, and then my hunt's done. So I was bringing everything in at night. That includes my water, my food pack, my bow, boots, hunting pack. Everything was coming into the tent at night. So I chose to go with a 2-person tent. This particular tent comfortably held everything that I had that I was using up there. So like I said, that use whatever equipment at your discretion, but just know that there are critters up there, and you know, the tent helps keep everything away from that. So that's that part on the tent. Sleeping pad. Oh, do not buy this charger. So I needed something to keep my phone, keep my headlamp. I had a rechargeable headlamp. I needed something to keep that charged. I bought this thing off of Amazon. It was right in the mid review range. I want to say this thing was somewhere like around 50 bucks. And it's a piece of crap. After 4 days, it stopped working. It started falling apart just sitting out in the sun. The glue started coming apart. These things stopped charging. It didn't work. Do not buy this and expect to rely on it. That's the part number HIS025. It's an Amazon part. It's an Amazon product. I'm throwing this in the trash, and I'm looking for something else. It looked cool, felt good, didn't hold up though. And that's just the truth of the matter. It has two charge ports, and this thing, you can charge it like a cell phone. And I took this up there completely charged, and I want to say it was day 4 or 5. I know my last 2 days on the mountain I had a dead cell phone. So do not buy this Amazon product. It's got the little fancy light in the back that didn't even turn on, and expect it. Don't rely on this one. that's going in the garbage. Luckily, this is a little extra bit of product that I was up there by myself, so communication was absolutely necessary. You know, I had family members and stuff. They knew about how dangerous this hunt can be, especially by yourself. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So I invested in a Inmarsat. I probably butchered that name. Satellite phone. Anyways, this thing is G. This is I used this thing several times. Had zero connection problems. A bit pricey, but if you need help, if you need to call somebody, this thing is awesome. It's got a no shit. I call it the oh shit button. You pop that tab there, and there's a red button. You push it. Search and rescue, your local search and rescue. Anybody that is has to do with any sort of search and rescue is going to be contacted immediately. And if I'm not mistaken, a GPS signal will be sent out on the exact location of the cell phone. Like I said, it's a bit pricey. It's pricey for me anyways. I want to say the phone ran right around $600, and then 30 minutes was $50, and it expires after 30 days too. So if you don't use all your minutes, they're gone. So that kind of sucks, but I think it's cheap insurance. So anyways, guys, this isn't necessary for the hunt, but I just wanted to bring that up and show you guys about this little guy. Something that I picked up because I've been in those mountains before is the this little Lifestraw combo. There's a few wildlife water catchments up there in those mountains, and I was hoping to use them to supplement some of my drinking water. So I picked up this Lifestraw. I don't know if this is new. This is the first time using the Lifestraw. Unfortunately, I did walk to one of the water catchment deals there, and it was completely dry, so I didn't get to use this. But apparently you can stick this in the water, and then you pull up with the syringe, fills up with filtered water, and then you can squirt it into your little collapsible water holder here, or you can put it in your camel pack. And that's what I was going to plan to do, except unfortunately everything was dried up. I mean, being with the heat, they hadn't gotten any rain up there, so this is something to invest in. It doesn't weigh hardly anything, and if you run into the water catchment treatments up there, there's a number of them. Do your research. I'm sure if you have this hunt, you're already doing your research. This could help preserve some of your drinking water or your bottled water, in my case, that I took up. Fortunately, that didn't work this time, but I still took it just in case. So what else? I think, guys, that is the bulk. Oh, these little guys. Grind Boss. You're working your ass off up there. You're sweating. You're stinking. My wife picked these up, I think at Walmart. This is cheap investment, guys. I've had hunts not go as well as they should have because of chafing, because I'm sweating and I'm not cleaning my ass. Straight up. These things have a soft side and a rough side. I was using the rough side to get behind my ears, under my neck, my armpits, and then the soft side, you guys can imagine what I was using the soft side for. But these things right here I mean, you gotta stay clean. You gotta keep your butt clean, pretty much. You know, especially up there with the heat, with the hiking, with all the work you're putting in. I would definitely these things work extremely well. What else, guys? I think that's it. That's all I wrote down. Obviously, you know, I went down to the Tractor Supply, picked up some suture needles for horses. They're hooked. I put some suture string in there. It wasn't even suture, it was serving string. I actually used that to patch up the hole in my boot the first day, but it broke again. So you're pretty much all your standard hunting equipment is gonna work up there. Oh, so my miss this year, I took a shot at 108 yards, which some of you guys might think that's a little much. I'm extremely efficient out at that range. The ibex this year jumped my string. The arrow got there and there was absolutely no animals around. So these things are just that cagey. I would pretty much any set. These animals aren't big. They weigh 150 pounds tops. If I get this hunt again, I am going to maximize the speed on my bow. I'm shooting a fairly heavy arrow. I think I'm pretty close to 500 grains out of a PSC Expedite. I don't know what my feet per second is, but I'm definitely going to maximize that speed. Kind of to eliminate a little bit of range estimation, try to mitigate the errors in that, because man, the shot angles. This year I shot my rangefinder. My rangefinder gives me what angle you're ranging at, and it was 47 degrees. So if you guys want to, think about how steep that is. My first hunt, I didn't have a rangefinder with angle compensation, but I was literally shooting almost straight up at an ibex. So that's another thing for you guys to start to get ready for, is practice. I have my own personal range here. I shoot out to 160 yards just to practice, mind you. But if you guys can practice those angled shots, because those are going to be the norm instead of, I yet to take a shot straight across at an animal, and so I would definitely find a way to practice your angled shots and practice your distance. I would recommend, this is all personal, mind you, to get comfortable to 100 yards. Today's equipment, that's very possible, but get comfortable to 100 yards, because that's going to be your norm out there in those mountains. Another thing, this is absolutely the most important thing. Out of all the equipment, all the advice that you can get from somebody, the food you're taking, and this needs to start months ahead, get your ass in shape. I have yet to experience something that requires more physical fitness than hiking around these mountains for a week or more. And mind you, I used to compete in mixed martial arts for the better part of 10 years, so I do have a concept of what being in shape is and what hard work is. These mountains will beat the hell out of you. So get your road work in, get your weightlifting in. Start working on your hips and your leg strength, because that's the first thing to go, man. And you could have all the food, all the equipment, all the water. If your ass cannot move, if you're so sore the next day that things aren't working, it's going to limit your hunting ability. It really is. It's going to limit how far you can get, where you can get, and I've been up there. I've been up there with rifle hunters on depredation hunts that their hunt ended on the first day halfway up the mountain. They simply could not get into to ibex country, and that's sad, because your physical fitness is the only thing that you're in charge of. So get your ass into shape. That is the utmost important thing if you're getting this hunt, especially with a bow hunt, because it will tax you, and this type of hunt will test your physical ability. But guys, I think that's it, man. I think that's pretty much everything I took up there. If you guys have questions on something that I might have missed, please leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll try to respond as best I can. Like I said, this is my second attempt. I have put myself in a position twice to get shots. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make it happen. But if you guys got any questions on some equipment that I might have missed, if you have, if you guys have something that I might be able to put in my repertoire for the next hunt that I hopefully draw, by all means, man, you guys leave them in the comment section. If you don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm putting a little more content on as we go, but anyways, good luck if you have this ibex hunt. Please be safe up there, work your ass off, and good luck on your hunt. Thank you guys.